Have you ever felt like life is completely unpredictable? Like nothing goes the way you planned? Like chaos is all around you and there's no escaping it? What if I told you chaos isn't something to fear, but something you can master? Today, we'll be exploring how three are the most dangerous villains, but also the most fascinating villains: Doflamingo, Hisoka, Sukuna, and how they thrive in chaos and what you can learn from them. I think chaos is not just external, it mirrors the unpredictability in our own lives. Heraclitus once said, "The only constant in life is change." But what is chaos? Chaos is a state of complete disorder, confusion, and lack of organization. But chaos is only something to fear, it's an opportunity. When you learn to navigate uncertainty, adapt to challenges, and harness unpredictability, you gain power, insight, and freedom. With chaos, I am not stating that your life has to be chaotic, like you don't have to do certain things in your life, that you can't or have to be unprepared and that you can benefit from that. In terms of what I mean with chaos, it's understanding that life itself is chaotic. And in terms of why these characters are so fascinating is that the lives that they have, in a sense, are disciplined in a sense. However, they can navigate through the chaos in life and build a path for themselves. And through that disorder, the confusion and lack of organization, they are able to, in a sense, breeze through the chaos and be able to do whatever they please. And in a sense, chaos is a friend of theirs in the world or in life itself. So in terms of this video, I'm not saying you have to be unprepared, be chaotic, be completely no disorder. In terms of this video is understanding how to navigate chaos in real life, as life itself is unpredictable. I think one of my favorite characters to cover first is Doflamingo. I think Doflamingo is many people's favorite characters and well regarded as one of the best characters or villains in One Piece. I think Doflamingo's philosophy, or the way he sees the world, is that he treats the world as a game, born into privilege, but descended back down to just being a human. In a sense, then betrayed by the world. He learned from a very early age that morality, fairness are all illusions. In his eyes, only power defines reality. Chaos is not to be feared, but is a tool to be mastered. I think one of my favorite speeches from Doflamingo is his speech about justice. I think this reflects the real reality of life. Are pirates evil? Are marine righteous? These terms have always changed throughout history. Kids who have never seen peace, kids who have never seen war have different values. Those who stand at the top determine what's wrong and what's right. This place is the very neutral ground. Justice will prevail, you say, but of course it will, because whoever wins this war becomes justice. I think this speech in itself embodies what real life is, or our life that we see. And in a sense, we are seeing the impact of One Piece worldwide, and why many people see this anime as the GOAT and the true reflection of life. And I think why Doflamingo is a very fascinating character is because we see the light, or we see the truth of reality through the eyes of an elite, an individual that understands what is really going on in their life. I think with many characters like Doflamingo, we relate to them because in a sense it's a insight to what the elites or individuals at the very top see. And in a sense, we don't relate to them, but we are fascinated to them. I think Doflamingo, in a sense, why I think is very fascinating is because it's a character that understands his dark psychology, or understands the ways of dark psychology. In a sense, he has Machiavellism, and he understands how to manipulate other people and never wishes for fairness. And I think he highlights the tensions between idealistic justice and practical power. And in a sense, it's a reflection or a quote that I've seen is order emerges from understanding, not from wishing for fairness. And I think what Doflamingo, in a sense, what you can learn from Doflamingo is that he understands how life works, and with his weaponizing his dark psychology, he's able to manipulate and navigate through chaos and, in a sense, orchestrate chaos to his benefit. A lot of us don't, or a lot of us have dark psychology, but we never use it. and we see as bad or whatever. But it's about understanding that these dark psychologies that are used on us are used on us on the daily. And it's either, in a sense, to put yourself in a position of to be successful. It's understanding when to weaponize it and when to defend yourself from it. At the end of the day, it is your choice what you do with it, but it's understanding how to navigate through this chaos. And I think the eyes of an elite like a Doflamingo really opens the insight on how to navigate through chaos, how the elites do or how they orchestrate chaos. And in a sense, is a blueprint to understanding how chaos is, in a sense, started, how to navigate, and also how to defend yourself. And the second villain I'll be covering is Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter. I think Hisoka is a very fascinating villain because he's not a traditional villain. He's a villain that is quite odd in terms of his fantasies and things that he's into. In terms of that, I'm not really going to be covering that. What I'm going to be covering is in terms of his philosophy, or the way I see his philosophy. I think as I said with Hisoka, he's a very odd villain. He's a villain, but not a traditional villain. He's a character that doesn't seek dominance, but in a sense seeks for self-realization. In a sense that the way I see it is that he sees life as a canvas of challenges. He seeks the beauty in that chaos. Every fight, every risk is an exploration of his own desires and limits. In a sense, chaos is not a threat, rather an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. I think with Hisoka, as I said, he's a very odd character. He's not a traditional villain. In a sense, the way I see him is an individual that embraces the fire or seeks fire. And not to put it out, but in a sense, enjoying the fire. And I think the way I can relate this into life is just an individual that seeks as many challenges as possible and seeks the most outrageous challenge or challenges anything in terms of life for his own goals, not in a sense to see where he is or see his limits. I think it's always very interesting because with this, it's more in the sense of understanding that you have to put yourself in the fire to kind of rediscover yourself or change or become, or it says embrace the chaos. I think why Hisoka is very fascinating is in the sense he flows with chaos. In a sense, he doesn't refuse chaos, he doesn't defend chaos, he doesn't do, in a sense, he flows with chaos and in a sense finds the outcome he desires. I think with navigating is that understanding with chaos there is challenges. Those challenges that you face depends on how you see those challenges in terms of chaos in life itself. A lot of us will see chaos and challenges in our life and automatically go defensive or are ready to scrap with life or any sense or shut down. I think with Hisoka's take, it's more in the sense of you can flow through chaos, accept these challenges and kind of explore, and after you come out there you may be a different individual, but in a sense you've tested your limits to see where you are. I think with Hisoka is a very fascinating character that navigates with chaos differently to the others such as Sukuna and Doflamingo. Is an individual that, in a sense, flows with the chaos and accepts the challenges of life. And I think sometimes you have to accept the challenges of what comes with chaos to be able to become a better individual or become the person that you desire to be. This is one of my favorite characters, and last character I'll be covering is the one and only is Sukuna. I think Sukuna deserves a lot of videos that I'll be covering very soon because of his philosophy of life and where you can use his philosophies. Obviously, I'm not saying do the essential thing. I have to say this in every video. I'm not saying be like these people and do certain things about them, but understanding their philosophy and the key aspects of what they can benefit your life. So please don't use this video to do some mad stuff. Please do not. I am not saying violence or anything like that. But let's get back to the video. In terms of why Sukuna thrives and why in a sense, he is the embodiment of chaos. It's because he thrives because he does not fear uncertainty, weakness, or opposition. In a sense, power and fear shape reality. And he dominates because he embodies confidence and clarity of purpose. As I said there, power and fear shape reality. In terms of why Sukuna is so confident, is in the power of his own belief and his own attributes. And in a sense, he's confident in his abilities. And the way we see chaos, being unpredictable is a normal day in his life. And in a sense, a normal day, I mean that whatever unpredictable thing that happens, he sees that he will get his desired reality no matter what. When we see chaos, sometimes we are automatically frightened and operate in a state that we don't want to be in. And why Sukuna thrives in chaos is because he may be put in a state that he might not be want or desire, but he already is in the state that he desires. So whatever state that is put on him is just, in a sense, a millisecond, and something that can be overcome in seconds or minutes to him. And I think a lot of us, in a sense, why I use states is very important is because with the unpredictability of life, we'll put in states that we don't want to be in. So we might be sad for bad financial situations or whatever, and automatically that affects our mood or our life for no matter how long it happens. But the way I say Sukuna sees life is that these states are just states, and his desired state will overcome any state that he does not want or desire. And in a sense, he believes that his skills, attributes will excel for him to be able to navigate through difficult situations, and that whatever state that life puts him or what chaos puts him in terms of life is just going to be gone because he believes he can navigate through it. I think what you can learn from Sukuna is understanding that, in a sense, that you can navigate through these states by believing in your attributes and your skills. A lot of us, in terms of life itself, it's unpredictable. However, you have the skills that can navigate through it. It's just choosing to, if you want to navigate through it or not, or you believe that this state is the thing that you're going to be living through for the rest of your life. I think with Sukuna, he believes that he's above any state that is put through him. And I think a lot of us have to believe that if it's not the desired state that we want to be in, why the hell are we spending time here? Do what you have to do so. I think it's just shifting your mindset to understand that you shape the state that you want. Even though life may want to put you in a state, you can say, no, buddy. I have a state and a desire that I want to be. Now, you might say, what the hell have I just watched, or what kind of waffle is this? And I understand. Sometimes I waffle a little bit, and maybe my perspective of these individuals are different to the way you see. I'm not saying I'm right. It's just a different way I see these characters and how, in a sense, what I can take from these characters. So in terms of what I would say from Doflamingo is, one, understanding your environment and studying the people, systems, situations before acting. And also being able to adapt. I think adaptability is very essential to evolving in your life, and what you can take from these individuals is things like that. And in a sense, knowledge is power. I think you have to stack yourself with knowledge. The more knowledgeable you are, the more you can navigate through chaos. A lot of us just go, chaos is unpredictable, and think because we don't have the knowledge to understand how to navigate through it. And the individual like Doflamingo can navigate through it because he understands the truth of the world. He's able to understand his environment, adapt, and has the knowledge to navigate through chaos. In terms of Hisoka, as I say, it's a very odd one, but I think in terms of this, he thrives in chaos. In terms of why he does that is because he embraces the challenges, and in a sense, his own personal growth or his own personal ambitions or what he desires in life. And one, he flows with chaos. He doesn't choose how to see it in terms of chaos. In a sense, he flows with chaos to his desired outcome. And with that flow, he's able to navigate or go through chaos. And with Sukuna himself, it's, in a sense, believe in yourself. I think believe in your attributes, believe in your skills, and take decisive action. Don't hesitate if you know something in your heart or your gut feels that you need to do, and in that chaos is trying to push you to put or choose something that you don't want to do or you don't feel that's right. You have to make that decisive action through your head or your gut to go through it, because sometimes your gut or your heart is right, and sometimes you have to make that decisive action. The longer you let it linger for, the longer you stay in that chaos or the chaotic state. And one, in a sense, focus your strength. I think always look to improve and learn more, boost your knowledge. I think Sukuna as well is a very knowledgeable individual. He knows, like Doflamingo, knowledge is power, and the more knowledge you have, the more you're able to navigate through chaos or chaotic life can become. And all these individuals, I would say, all of them understand the dark psychology. It's about understanding how to be defensive, offensive, or in a sense, understanding them, so when they are put on yourself, you understand how to navigate through them. I think all these characters are very fascinating because of how they navigate through chaos. But I think whilst you should look at these characters in terms of the philosophy of thriving in chaos, is that knowledge is key, and how you use this knowledge is very important, how to navigate through chaos, because a lot of people, or chaos is created by individuals, other individuals. It's about equipping yourself to be able to navigate through that chaos.